Previously, on this bed we made. Good enough. I put my whole
That's
pussy
a
into
lot of
that.
money to.
Let's clean up this beautiful, probably crime scene. Come on, there's gotta be stuff in the drawers. I want to be nosy.
A few months ago, I found stacks of pennies in a room's toilet.
Door's already open. Oh, he's stalking me. Oh, gross. Oh, I'm so sorry, honey. I know you're crying, but I'm trying to read. I'm getting into conspiracy theory territory. Oh god, they're a pervert.
It's some kind of code.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm stressed. I'm so dumb. I'm not gonna interrupt them fucking.
Is this
Linda.
Linda's?
You dirty girl. Hello, and welcome back to this bed we made. Sadly, I did an entire 2.5 hour recording playing this game, and I got like from 40% of the game done to 70%. And then I realized at the end of the session that my desktop audio was muted on OBS. So, yeah, I did an entire playthrough without being able to hear the voice acting and the music. I am still seething. So, now I am gonna dive back in to this bed we made. Okay, it's time to reread some things. That was close. I should have known it wouldn't be as simple as walking out unnoticed. Bernard was waiting on the other side of the door, once I'd finished up in his office. I'm really glad my job keeps me from interacting with him too often. I don't know how many more times I can handle hearing him call me Miss Blevett. I managed to evade his suspicion, screwdriver in hand, even if it meant bending the truth just a little. All in all, I'd say that went as smoothly as it could have. What I came for. Looks like my hunch was correct. Eugene was here to fix the window, and lucky for me, he left his screwdriver behind. I get the feeling he won't be needing it anytime soon. Getting the vent open should be easy enough, though. The Lair of the Beast. Beth offered to keep a lookout while I poke around Bernard's office, looking for the screwdriver. I have the rare opportunity to do a bit of snooping on my boss. What fascinating things could Bernard keep it behind closed doors? But I have to be careful still, especially with Beth on the other side of the door. I don't want to jeopardize her either. Longest elevator ride ever. On my way back down to look for a screwdriver in Bernard's office, I ran into the big boss himself in the elevator. When he asked me what I was doing, I told him the truth, or part of it anyway, that I needed a screwdriver. He gave me the same flack for undertaking a task that should have been Eugene's, but other than that, I don't think he suspected anything. Phew! Thank goodness he and I went in separate directions when we got to the ground floor. Now I can. Now to see if I can find that screwdriver. Let's see. Information on Raymond. Raymond DeLuke is Bernard's brother. Before Bernard ran the Clarington, the hotel was in Raymond's hands. From everything I've heard, Raymond's style of running the hotel was different from Bernard's was as different from Bernard's as day is tonight. I thought my family was complex, but the DeLukes are on another level. Bernard allegedly kept Raymond out of jail and kept any word of his deviant ways from spreading. And for that, he expects his brother to butt out of anything to do with managing the Clarington. Poor Raymond. It sounds like he was in a tough spot and Bernard found a way to exploit it. Well, Bernie, that's fucking rude.
Time to see what secrets that vent is holding.
Is Beth
Sorry,
around?
ma'am.
Can I gossip?
How big did you say your party was again?
Okay, he's just taking a reservation.
Another day, another dirty dish to pick up. Oh, I guess I'm free to disturb room 508 now. But that's where Bernard and Linda were. Ew.
Let's check out the crime scene. Did they mess around with the closet any? The Bibble. They did ungodly things in this room, next to the Bibble. Throw that shit away. I don't even want to know what that was. Okay, that one must have been Bernard's. Never mind, neither of them were wearing lipstick. I guess that makes sense if they're trying to hide an affair. They had champagne together. Classy. Ew. Ew. Disgusting. This is at least something that I did not do in my last playthrough. That's clean. That's clean. That's clean. Let me get out my paper. Just make sure I get everything. Did trash. I think the floor's fine. They use towels? No. Okay, this room is all clean. By those 6, do they want cleaned? Complete. Expect a big mess. Then it's not complete.
Oh boy, someone's been living it up.
Are those wine bottles in the toilet? These people know how to party, but, like, gross. Sorry for the mess. Thanks, ladies. They took a wet floor sign. I'm not gonna throw away their presents. Oh, I probably shouldn't have thrown away the balloon.
Not exactly a cherished gift. If you just left it behind like this.
And I'm not going home without a prize. Dear my beloved Leanne, much as I have loved to spend this Valentine's with a woman who's about to become Mrs. Hubert, I'll happily make do with the lifetime of Valentine's Days awaiting us. Enjoy your week in Montreal. I'll be eagerly awaiting your return and the start of our new life together. Love, Gregory. P.S. Don't let Simone rope you into anything crazy. Tell her I need my bride back in one piece. This Valentine's Day, I'm on the hunt. So, I guess I can get rid of the decorations? I guess they checked out. Did he really just scold us for talking? These Montreal cab drivers, I swear. I know, I thought he'd appreciate us trying to make conversation. Thank God for good old-fashioned pen and paper, at least. Yeah, this takes me back. At least Sister Gabrielle isn't here to confiscate them anymore. So, like I was saying, are you ready for your week-long bridal shower, Mrs. Hubert? Stop it, Simone. I am not Mrs. until we walk down the aisle. And this week is for thinking about anything but that. That's right, we're making the most of this week before I lose you to the jaws of married life. I would never. I won't be another Andrea. I promise. Leanne, he's going to kick us out if you keep making me laugh. The Montreal Tourism Association. Oh, they drew on the cover.
Another fan of the Gossiper. I never did finish that article from this morning. That feels like so long ago now.
Yeah, I think they checked out, so I won't get in trouble for being in this room. That room still scares me. Let's check out 504. Oh, I already cleaned this room. Salt shaker next to the bed. We're gonna pretend that was a salt shaker at least. Man, we explored every room. Nice. I did not do that last time. Vent time. Oh, screw. You have to scroll. I guess I'm only allowed to decode these messages here. Okay. Meet me tonight in my room. Michael, I'll not be, will be sleeping. We need to
Meet
discuss
me
our
tonight in my
plan.
room. Michael will be sleeping. We need to discuss our plan.
Clarington Hotel reception desk, Beth speaking.
It's me.
Oh, hello, Bean. Anything new to report?
She calls me Bean now.
I found another message written in secret code.
What does it say?
Meet me tonight in my room. Michael will be sleeping. We need to discuss our plan.
Michael? Who's that? Another husband?
I don't know. It's the first time I'm hearing of a Michael in this story.
Let me check the logbook. There's a Michael staying in room 507.
Mrs. Beaumont's room? But she doesn't have a husband. She's here alone with... Oh! Michael must be her son. I got him some extra blankets the other day so he could build a fort.
Could Marcella?
Yes?
No, never mind. So, what's next?
I guess I should go have a look at 507, but it's not on my list. There's a do not disturb sign on the door.
Oh,
Well,
we
I could
haven't
call the
explored
room
this
to
in
make
this
sure no one's
timeline.
there.
Good idea.
Hang on.
It's been a few days since I lost my footage. Well, not lost, but needed to redo the footage.
You've got the all clear, Bean. Head on over.
Thanks, Beth. I'll call you back.
Now, I shouldn't be in here, so I shouldn't be cleaning.
A lovely shade of lipstick. I know lipstick marks are a pain to scrub off, but they're kind of charming.
Also, what a weird, like, lip mark. She, like, kissed the cup before drinking.
Mr. Cruz, huh? Numbers, dates, times. What does it all mean?
I don't know the actual current date. Red Lion. They got the same curler set as that room. I just noticed. Maybe they became gal pals.
You almost look like Marcella.
Mount Royal College, Montreal, 1947. Free yo-yo inside. This must be where that yo-yo in the hall came from. Petey Potts Sugar Frosted Pops offers you a chance to visit its amazing cereal factory in Calgary, Alberta. And then the asterisk offer ends 7/31/58. I'm using American date like I should. Available to Canadian residents only. Includes 2-day stay at the New Horizon Hotel in Calgary and 10 complimentary sugar frosted pops boxes. Does not include plane or train ticket. Factory tour limited to visitors area only. Access to factory floor restricted. So when it's simple, all you gotta do is draw Frostbite, our beloved mascot, enjoying a delicious bowl of Petey Pot's Sugar Frosted Pops. Petey Pot's is such a, like, weird thing to read aloud. Just from, like, brain looking at the thing to brain thinking word to brain coming out mouth. You can only participate once, so be sure to send your very best drawing. Don't wait. Use the coupon below to send in a day. Will you be lucky, the lucky lad to visit my igloo at Petey Pot's factory? Petey Pot's drawing contest. Michael Beaumont, address, Hotel Clarington, Chamber 507. Fucking content warning, the French language mentioned and depicted. City, Montreal, Province, Quebec. Fastest way on rails through the Midwest.
So you were eager to set up a meeting, but didn't want anyone noticing.
I hope you are well in spite of the circumstances. We have been on the train for 2 days now. It's a long ride, made even longer by the fact that I cannot wait to see you again. We are scheduled to arrive in Montreal on the eve of Valentine's Day. I booked room 509. It's a marital suite. When we arrive, please refrain from talking to me until we can figure out a safe way to see each other. Say hello to Michael for me, M. Mrs. Beaumont, Clarington Hotel.
Did Marcella send this? Oh, Michael. Adults can be so confusing. I promise it's not you.
Dad, I'm sorry, but Mom asked me not to tell you the name of our hotel. She allowed me to talk about our room, though. We have 2 little beds, a radio, and even a television. Mom let me build a fort, and the maid brought us extra blankets. She's really nice. The hotel is nice, too, but I miss home. I wish Mom and you could be happy. I just wish everything could go back to the way it was before, but Mom says it's impossible. She says oh God. She says she no longer loves you. Do you think she'll ever stop loving me too? This poor kid. My heart. Sharpened to a needle point. Keep battery out. Battery chamber when not in use. Lalanciette? Lalanciette? Grammar for Everyone, new edition. To Anne Bursey. Subject, Michael's withdraw from school. Dear Mrs. Bursey, we have successfully processed your request to withdraw your son Michael Bursey from his school schedule and system under the arrangement that you will continue his education from home. Following this letter, you will receive a list of books and school materials you need to purchase in order to follow the curriculum from home. A social worker will be in touch to help you understand our milestones so that your son can benefit from our programs from the comfort of his home. Thank you for thinking of your son's education. Donald Byron.
Sounds like this is from your school days, but the name of the sender is smudged.
Dear Anne, you were right. I miss the snow already. It's so hot right now in Texas. It's quite a shock after the cool weather of Montreal. My family has never seen snow before, and I could not find the words to tell you how beautiful it is. They don't understand what they are missing. I wish I could build my brothers a snowman like the one we built together a few weeks ago. I know it's childish, but I had not had that much fun in years. Christmas was exhausting. 9 days of eating, singing, dancing. It's great fun, but I am glad it's over so I can rest a little. Of course, celebrations will resume for New Year, but it gives me a few days to relax. How are things going with your family? I know you don't get along well, but I hope you were still able to have a good time. I will leave for Montreal on the 8th. I can't wait to be back. I miss finding black cat hairs all over my clothes. I miss our late night studying sessions at Harry's. I even miss Sister Miller's classes, if you can believe it. I will see you soon. Warm wishes.
Aha! Keys are Snoop's best friend. Funny how some games really stand the test of time. I used to play this with Mom all the time.
The double.
So a husband can abuse his wife and just get away with it? And people like Linda still think divorce is wrong? Ugh.
Dear Anne, I have met with Lewis and he has asked me to give you the enclosed letter. I think I should reiterate that some of your accusations, such as wife abuse, are not grounds for divorce in Quebec. That's shitty. I understand you are hurt, but I do not think antagonizing your husband is very wise at the moment. Do not forget to be in court at 11 a.m. on the 20th. Be on time. Also, a friendly reminder that my fees for January need to be paid before the end of this month. I am happy to help you out, but I cannot work pro bono on this. Sincerely, Howard.
Let's get to the bottom of this and find out what links these rooms together.
Adam and Eve, a heartbreaking decision. Should Rose stay in a marriage that no longer makes her happy, or seek revenge in the arms of a woman who truly understands her? She has tasted the forbidden fruit years ago, and now she is all she can think of. But what will her family and society as a whole think of her as she turns to a life of sin? Should she be condemned for even entertaining the thought of leaving her husband, or pitied for having to make such a heartbreaking decision? Bridget Boswell is the prolific author behind novels such as And They Were Roommates and The Lonely Girl. Adam and Eve is her 7th novel. Oh my god, they were roommates. Greta. What is this, a color for a chihuahua?
Locked. The key has to be around here somewhere.
The winds and the leaves that day made a sound that sounded like... really, Anne? The winds and the leaves that day made the tree whistle, a soft melody that come to my ear. I remember every part of this day, for it was the day we met. Jesus is bad. I was looking for my cat when I heard the sound of the leaves and the blowing wind. Blowing in the wind. Like a melody to my ear on this summer day where I met you. This letter has been sent to you and has been around the world 3 times. The one who breaks the chain will have bad luck. Mr. Smith received the letter in 1953, made 33 copies, and sent them. 3 days later, he won the lottery. Mr. Jones received it in 1956, made 33 copies, and sent them. 3 days later, he discovered an old treasure in his backyard. Mr. Williams received the letter and burned it. His wife and 3 kids died in a fire that very night. Mr. Green forgot the letter in a drawer and lost his job. When he found the letter again, he got a better job than before. In no case should this chain be broken. Make 33 copies and send them. You experience great joy within 3 days. I forgot that chain letters were a thing.
That look in your eyes. What does it mean? And who is this from?
You don't need to know my name, but you've seen me. I recognized that look in your eyes when you checked in. You and I don't need to make a fuss of this. You keep your wits about you, and I'll do the same.
Either a guest got a hold of our stationery, or this came from someone on the staff.
They were there whenever they checked, and it has to be either my girlfriend or my next playthrough boyfriend.
Aw, that's so sweet. I didn't do much, but I'm glad it meant something to you.
Dear Sophie, thank you so much for taking care of our room every day and bringing us extra sheets. Michael and I wanted to give you a little something before we left. Sincerely, A. Technically, I'm not supposed to be in here yet. Ah. I will delay my plans for France.
He's all but outright threatening you. Oh, I hope you can stay as far away from him as possible.
I just met with your damn lawyer. You've got some balls to accuse me of all that. As if you were so irreproachable yourself. Do you think I don't know where you spend your nights? But worst of all is that you wouldn't let me see my son. You won't even tell me where he is. If you think you have a chance to get custody, you really don't know me well. I won't let you take Michael away from me. That must be Michael's dad.
A lovely shade of lipstick.
Okay, so Anne wears the orange. Why am I cleaning? Ah!
Looks like someone grew tired of looking at your face, Mr. Beaumont.
If this wasn't blurry as shit, it'd probably be pretty. I do like the metalwork on the sides. The White Cat Bar and Restaurant. They got plenty of teepee. There's an antique wooden chest sitting on the suitcase on Anne's bed. It's so beautiful. It reminds me of my grandma's jewelry box. The one she brought from Quebec City from a street vendor who chiseled all his own wares. Something that beautiful must be holding something of value, right? If I can find the key, I can take a look myself. This is about snooping in this room. Meet tonight in my room. Michael will be sleeping. So we need to discuss our plan. Codes, pawn codes. Thankfully, I had a key. So I think the next step is to open the box. You read all the stuff, so I'm going to clear the notifications. Characters. Mr. Beaumont. Anne's husband for now. Their relationship is not in a good place, to put it lightly. It seems his life fled with their son and is now trying to divorce him. Mr. Beaumont is clearly hurt, but a wounded, cornered animal can be just as dangerous, if not more. I hope there's nothing behind his threats, but knowing that Anne and Michael have had to hide out in a hotel for a month isn't encouraging. Michael and his father are still in contact, judging by the letter Michael's been working on his pillow for. I suppose there is the tiniest bit of relief in knowing that he and his son have a good relationship, but Michael can't possibly have the full picture of his parents' relationship and all of its complexities. It's easy to put a parent on a pedestal without knowing the full extent of who they are. Anne Beaumont is the one of two guests staying in room 507, the other being her son Michael. She's a divorcee. I don't know how that information got out the first time, but since then, Linda made sure she wouldn't forget it. Anne's stay at the Clarington has been a lengthy one, and it shows in her room. Open suitcases, stray coffee cups, a pillow fort. It all seems very lived in. Not a lot of guests get as comfortable as she and Michael have. Maybe I'll be able to find out why she came to the Clarington and why she's yet to leave. Anytime I've interacted with Anne, she's been incredibly sweet to me. She seemed apologetic for after asking for extra blankets, maybe even a little embarrassed at Michael's antics, but if she only knew the kinds of requests I've gotten in the past. Besides, Michael is fun to have around in small doses. Oh, poor Anne. It doesn't seem like her divorce has been an easy battle, or a cheap one. If Mr. Beaumont is abusive like she told her attorney, then it's even more important that her divorce is granted as soon as possible. Is that why she's hiding out at the Clarington? Mr. Beaumont is not a calm individual, from what I gather. I am glad Anne put some distance between them. I just hope she can find a more permanent solution than this. A line from Mr. Beaumont's letter stood out to me. Do you think I don't know how you spend your nights? Where do you spend your nights, Anne? I don't blame you for spending them anywhere that's not with your bore of a husband, but the question remains, where is it that you go? There's a framed picture of a group of girls on Anne's mantle. I'm guessing this is a class picture of Anne's 11 years later, and she's still beautiful, but a little weathered maybe. Life hasn't been easy on her after all. Michael Beaumont. So Michael is Anne's son. I thought his name was Mitchell this entire time. Probably because anytime I interacted, he's been either racing down the hallway mid-sentence or talking through a mouthful of sugar frosted pops. No wonder I don't recognize the name at first. I think Michael must be around 8 or 9. He's a sweet little boy, and he's grown on a lot of the maids here. Since we've been seeing him for around a month now, I think a lot of us will be sad to see him go. His mom asked me for extra blankets once so that he could build a blanket fort. I'm glad he's been enjoying his stay at the Clarington. Staying at hotels when you're a kid must be such an adventure. Michael's having a hard time dealing with his parents' divorce, which is completely understandable. I remember having a million questions at that age, and no one seems to want to tell you the truth. Not the whole of it, anyway. Do you think she'll ever stop loving me too? Oh, Michael, what a heartbreaking possibility to even have to consider. I don't think your mom's love for you is going anywhere. For what it's worth, it took me a while to learn this, but our parents are just as new to navigating this relationship as we are. They're just trying their best. Most of them are, anyway. Oh yeah, there's 2 locks.
I'll need another key to unlock this. Haven't I seen one just like this somewhere?
Keys, keys, keys. I don't think I've ever used so many in one day. Not content to open with 1 key, this fussy chest requires 2, which is a little daunting, but Anne wouldn't have brought the chest without both keys, right? I'll just have a look around. It should be easier now that I know what I'm looking for. It's not designed like everyday key, after all.
That key looks so familiar. Why do I associate it with room 505?
This room. I don't like it whenever the music changes in here. That's not the right shape. It's probably in the safe. I can't remember every detail, but I have a feeling it's in the safe. My brain is like 800 million years behind. Mephorbamate. Meprobamate. Federal law prohibits dispensing without a prescription. I'll see what class of drug this is whenever I edit. I feel like I took out the trash in the first episode. What was I doing in here? Okay, I remember in the first playthrough having this glitch. I have to save and load. For some reason, certain things just do not like that interact option. New clues as well. Darkroom tools, various tools.
Ah, there you are. With Marcella. God knows where she is.
Clarington Hotel reception desk, Beth speaking.
Hey, Beth.
Bean, I've been meaning to speak with you.
Oh, about what?
Well, a little birdie told me Mr. Morgan and Mr. Cruz had an argument yesterday evening.
Really?
The
Who's
scandal.
your little birdie?
Jacques. Apparently it got so heated he had to get involved. And listen to this. It sounds like I was on the right track, cause he heard a particular word thrown around quite a lot. Wanna guess what it is?
Blackmail?
No, that was your theory, remember? It's affair.
Affair? Did Jack hear anything else?
From what he told me, it seemed like Mr. Cruz was accusing Mr. Morgan of having an affair with his wife. Wouldn't have expected Mrs. Cruz to fall for a man like Morgan, but I guess the heart wants what the heart wants.
Maybe, but that doesn't explain Mrs. Beaumont's involvement with Mrs. Cruz.
What do you mean?
I found a chest in room 507. I think it can only be opened by turning 2 keys at once. I found one of them in Mrs. Beaumont's things.
Oh, and the other one?
Well, I remembered seeing a similar key in one of Mr. Morgan's stocking pictures, so I went back to check. Mrs. Cruz wears it as a pendant. It looks identical to Mrs. Beaumont's key.
Wait, so Mrs. Beaumont and Mrs. Cruz own identical keys that are both needed to open a mysterious chest? Yeah, there's definitely something going on here.
Historians will say that they were just good friends.
I think Mrs. Cruz and Mrs. Beaumont might be the ones having the affair.
That's an interesting theory. Did you find any clues that might support this?
Nothing concrete. I mean, I did find a letter that suggests they may have gone to college together, but they could just as well be good friends, right?
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
I guess we'd know for sure if we could have a look at that chest, but I don't think I'll be able to open it. I've looked around room 509. I would have seen the second key if it was there. Mrs. Cruz must have left with it this morning.
Yeah.
We were so close. I can't believe it all ends here.
Well, hold on. I may have an idea. Get me a candle and some plaster, and maybe I can do something about that pesky chest.
How?
I'll tell you later. Just find me those things, and I'll meet you in the basement as soon as I manage to leave my post.
All right. Thank you for not giving up.
Come on, you know I wouldn't let you down.
The only chest this gal wants to see is Beth's. Anything else I need to inspect? There's something at a lake? Two Coke, two burger, extra fries. T30. Oh my god, they were roommates. No one at school suspected what took place once the door was locked. She was alone in a town she barely knew, hundreds of miles away from home. She's desperate for comfort and found it in the arms of the most unexpected person. What first started as a normal friendship between two women soon blossomed into something much more passionate and disturbing. This is a tale of love and desire like you've never read before. Out of her own experience, the author, working under a pseudonym, tears the curtain from one of the gravest threats to modern social morality. This strange love participates in trapping weary girls today, particularly in our larger cities. We get it, lesbians exist. I have no idea why Beth thinks that she can open Anne's chests with candles and plaster, but I was promised an explanation once I made my way to the basement with the two items. So I'll just put my trust in her. Now, the plaster shouldn't be hard to find in a hotel that's undergoing renovations. Why am I getting a text? Out of my reach. I had a feeling I'd seen this particular kind of key before. My feeling is right, sort of. I've seen it before in a photograph that has a picture of the Cruzes. Marcella had the key around her neck walking with Hector in the lobby. Chances are she still has a key on her. She's nowhere to be found at the moment, so what now? Um... Okay, let's go get the plaster. Let's get plastered, everyone. Oh yeah, there's another vent. Oh, that's blocked. Lame. Plaster was here.
This takes care of half of this little scavenger hunt. As for the candles, doesn't Rebecca keep some in her locker downstairs?
Candle it. I got the plaster that Beth requested. That just leaves a candle. Rebecca is always super prepared and terrified of the dark. If I recall correctly, she keeps a stash of candles somewhere in the hotel. If I want to find them, I think I should stop at... I think my first spot should be the basement where she spends most of her time.
I can probably find the rest of what I need in the basement.
Did I put towels in this bathroom? I did. Oh, the bed's not made. Eight cups. Oh. I know I didn't look at this.
The shade is really striking.
Whoop, there it is. The smoking lesbian gun. I knew I was forgetting something.
I'm sure I'll find more laundry to add to the pile.
Did I put towels in this bathroom? Oh. Wait, this is back? I don't need to towel that room yet. So I'm technically not supposed to clean it. Wow, that was super out of sync. That's very laggy. I haven't looked at this stuff yet.
The way things go missing around here, sometimes it feels like the hotel just gobbles things up.
Lost gold bracelet. Great sentimental value. If found, please return to Yvette. Clarendon Hotel. Do not forget to use the word guests when talking to or about clients. I'm getting tired of repeating this. Bernard. Andrew's book club. What? Let's talk about books and stuff over a nice cup of coffee. When? Thursday, 7 p.m. Why? Why not? Where? The Corner Cafe. For more details, please contact Andrew. I like how all of the Terror things just say Andrew. It doesn't even have his number or anything. Clarendon Hotel. Do not forget to tell guests to avoid blocking corridors with their luggage. This is an accident waiting to happen. It's your job to report when others don't do theirs.
I told him fixing the window should be his top priority. And
oh, I'd very much like to speak to him, trust me, but I just can't find him. He's nowhere to be found. Gone. Disappeared. I don't know what on earth's going on tonight. Is it because of that goddamn snowstorm? Or was there something in the coffee this morning?
What do you mean?
Well, the whole staff's completely off today. Shock leaving luggage carts everywhere. Wendy asking for a day off. Beth. Oh, don't even get me started on Beth. Oh, and that maid? What's her name? Sylvie? I never noticed how odd she is.
Sophie, you mean? I like her. She's a good girl.
Yeah, I'm a good
Why don't
girl.
you call the city? Tell them they don't need to build that new madhouse next door. There's one right here.
Oh, Bernard, it's not that bad. I'm here, aren't I? Come here. Let me help you forget about all that.
Ooh woo. I really want to walk in on them. I do. And the next playthrough, I want to play like the hottest hot mess. Like being an absolute girl failure. I did not look at the names on this. Andrew. Etienne? Gabriel. Eugene, Bobby. Jacques, Anthony. I read all those. Sandra always greets clients with a polite smile. Be like Sandra. Oh, there's Rebecca. Rebecca, the VIP guest in room 602 is getting on my nerves. He keeps ordering food and that's not on the menu. We don't usually do special orders, but Bernard is adamant that we make all of his wishes come true. Do I look like a goddamn genie? Not even that's not even the worst of it, though. Every night he barges in the kitchen as if he was at home, asking for meat for his precious little terriers. Who feeds dogs $4 of roast beef? I can't even afford $4 of roast beef for myself, Bobby.
So you do have a stash of candles. But where is it?
Rebecca, the kitchen is out of power again. I can barely see a thing. Bernard wants us to continue working, but I'm not risking chopping off my fingers for that blowhard. Didn't you start hoarding candles since the last power outage? I remember saying you saying you never wanted to be caught in the dark basement again. Where is your stash? It's urgent, please, Bobby. I kind of want to spy on all the other...
I'm good. It's locked.
I looked at my stuff.
Fine. Keep your secrets, locker.
Beth?
Didn't I find one of these in Anne's room, too? The White Cat must be a popular spot. Wait, is this you, Beth? What on earth led to this picture being taken? Are you looking to buy land? I know you grew
Land
up
for
on a
sale.
farm.
72 acres
Maybe
of
you're
fertile
looking
land.
to get back to nature.
The auction starts April 17th. A gemstone of land that has become available for you to acquire near the municipality of Farnham. And on the riverfront of Yamaska River, this gorgeous and ready to be cleared land is lacking in only one thing: an owner. Discover the true meaning of nature. A land filled with all the resources you'll need to build a home for your family and earn more than a decent living raising cattle or exploring its large wooden area. Only a few hours drive away from major cities such as Montreal or Saint Jean. Freedom is at your fingertips. Auction held at Road Brothers Auctioneers.
Off limits.
Victoria, Nicole. We're gonna get to know our coworkers. The hidden enemy. An invisible force is lurking in the shadows, threatening our very way of life. And it is not the communists, it's the homosexuals. Yeah, those male gays. I'm kidding, it's also the female gaze. A menace to the young, a threat to everyone. But how do we spot them? They move unnoticed in society, working in every field. They may even be married and have children. They could never live next door to you, attend your church, or even be at. They could live next door. They could live next door to you, attend your church, or even be your son. In these pages, you will learn how to spot homosexuals and protect society from these dangerous deviants. Yeah, that's very love thy neighbor of them. Dear sister, we need to talk about Kevin. The other day, Patrick received some pamphlets from a friend from the States, and now he's convinced that our child is a sissy. How's that even possible? The boy is 5 years old. Does it really matter if he likes to play with girls and prefers dolls to toy cars? So I can't help but think, if Patrick is right, if Kevin is indeed like that, what kind of future awaits him? Will he ever be able to get a job, to have a family, to live a normal life? Every time I look at him now, I feel like crying. I just want my little boy to be happy. Is that too much to ask? Love, Nicole. I don't know, maybe love your child anyway.
It's locked.
Carol, here's the chambermaid's guide I talked about. Come see me if you have questions concerning the staff, or the staff can tell you who you should be hanging out with and who you should avoid. Yvette. Carol, I hope you are having a great first week here. Valentine's Day is always a busy time, but do not worry. It should calm down soon. Yesterday I saw you watch while we were playing cards at lunch. You are welcome to join us today if you wish. Nicole. Okay, at least they're being nice to the new girl.
Off limits.
Wendy. Of course, she's just got a couple beauty things in there.
Yvette's and Susan's favorite activity. Talking behind other people's backs.
I can't believe Miss Perfect got Employee of the Month reward again. I'm sure she won't even use the mixer she won. She's too dumb to understand how it works. Poor Jacques. He deserves so much better than that stupid whore. And did you see the look on Sophie's face when Bernard first showed her the mixer? You'd swear that weirdo had never seen one in her life. Anyway, join me at 11:15 for a smoke break? Why?
What could I say? It was a very nice mixer. What could I say? It was a very nice mixer.
Smokes old ports. Also smokes old ports. See, now we have come to provide soap to the guests. This is getting ridiculous. What's next? A hairdryer in every room? Speaking of hair, have you seen Rebecca's new haircut? I don't think she could look any uglier. Smoke break at 3:45 S.
Well, I think your haircut looks good, Reb.
So many coffee cups. Barbara always wears appropriate makeup. Be like Barbara. Mary always makes sure to wear her uniform properly. Be like Mary.
Tempting, but every penny adds up. I'm good.
Break room's open. Okay, that's the paper I read. That's the paper I read. You think there would be more variety? Have you heard there's a famous movie director saying in 602? Jay. Yes, I was there when he checked in. I didn't know who he is, but he must be pretty important because Bernard is always licking his boots. He even let the man bring his dogs to the hotel. S. Is he shooting a picture in Montreal, Jay? I've heard he's here on a scout, but I'm not sure what that means, S. Maybe he's, making a picture on Boy Scouts, Jay. Do you think he'll shoot in the hotel? Why? I hope he does. Imagine, we could get famous actors like James Dean, Jay. Let's hope the director has supernatural powers, because Dean is very much dead. Why? What? James Dean is dead, Jay?
Are you here to apologize?
Apologize? I'm not the one who should be apologizing.
You're such an idiot. I can't believe that I fell in love with you.
Wait,
What?
I want my mother's money back.
There. I don't want it.
Yeah, you deserve to cry, bitch. You're ruining everything on probably a rumor.
I don't always get fashion, but these are fun to look at. And half the pages haven't been cut out.
Vague. Special romance collection. 75 dresses and uniforms inspired by Paris romanticism. A practical guide for plane travel. 15 tips and tricks to be beautiful and comfortable in the South. Diet and chocolate. A possible duo? Wedding collection. 1959 an overview. Dazzling nails. Get shiny, sleek finish with our signature formula. Your nails will reflect the light like a work of art, drawing all eyes to your hands. The magic of brilliance. Discover the magic formula of our nail polish, enriched with a variety of botanical extracts and mystical ingredients, gently applied to your nails. It reveals a bewitching shine that will captivate all eyes. Chloe.
This is probably Beth's latest project. It's really cool how she has an eye for this kind of thing.
So Beth is a little bit of a fashion designer, I
Sorry,
see.
Gossiper. I'm coming back to you. I still haven't learned all of Gracie Jones' secrets.
Dean knew he had a date with Death, the Gossiper. A peek into the lives of the rich and famous. Exclusive interview. Exclusive interview. Gracie Jones' dirty little secrets exposed. See also the untold story behind Frankie and Ava's divorce, page 11. All you need to know about the Presley scandal, page 14. Is Liz bankrupting Mike? Page 22. I'll try to see if I can look up, if there is any drama around Elvis Presley during the year this game was set, but don't hold your breath for it. Raphael Cosmetics. A lipstick that lasts all the way down the red carpet. Worried about smudges? Fear not. Raphael boasts a kiss-proof formula, ensuring your enchanting allure lasts from dusk till dawn. We ensure your lips are always camera-ready. Snap breathtaking photographs that immortalize your beauty and be just like the glamorous Hollywood starlets. Give your lips the Hollywood treatment. With this new shade, he'll wish he stayed. He'll never deny you a kiss with lips as red as this. Get ready to pucker up with Raphael's lipstick collection. In vivid hues of scarlet reds and blushing pinks, those magical lipsticks exude an aura of irresistible allure that will leave hearts throbbing. Raphael Cosmetics. I hope you guys like being read a bunch of ads.
Gotta hold on to these tight.
Master key. Do not lose. Okay, well, I can at least return the old side then. Bobby, you realize it's the person with the lowest score who wins, right? To all employees, it has come to my attention that several guests have complained about a member of our staff going through their belongings in their absence. This has to stop now. Whoops. Anyone with information regarding the situation should come to my office as soon as possible. I want the person behind this swiftly identified and reprimanded. Should no one come forward within a week, punitive measures will be taken against all of you. Thank you, Bernard Bernard, French last name. It's your job to report when others don't do theirs. To whoever keeps stealing my lunch, I want my Tupperware back. Susan. Aw. No. To my one viewer, specifically Espeon, you know I am a hot mess.
Mr. VIP is really getting to Bobby.
Rebecca, I confess I'm about to commit murder. I don't care who he is, how rich he is, how famous he is. The VIP guest in 602 is a goddamn psycho. He ordered room service this morning, but somehow the plates got mixed up and he received eggs instead of pancakes. It happens, right? Well, the man rushed to the kitchen in a frenzy and yelled at us for 10 minutes straight, saying eggs are disgusting and he hates him. I should have told him that he's disgusting and I hate him. I thought of spitting in his next meal, but before leaving, he swore he'd never order anything from our kitchen ever again. Without a shadow of a doubt, this is the worst establishment I have ever visited, he said in his pompous accent. If he ever sends his clothes downstairs to be cleaned, you can be a good friend and stitch all of his could you be a good friend and stitch all his pockets? Any other form of sabotage would do too. I know you're creative. Just be careful not to arouse too much suspicion, Bobby. If you do want to sabotage somebody's clothing, I highly recommend getting a seam ripper and then ripping out, like, every few stitches.
I hope you managed to calm him down, Reb. The last thing the Clarington needs today is a murdered guest.
Oh. New Dobby. Let's... Ivy... Rebecca, the washing machines are not broken. The problem comes from the pipes. They are completely frozen. It's only a matter of time before they burst and flood the entire basement. I've warned Bernard about this issue last winter. But of course he only cares about renovating the parts of the hotels that guests can see. Behind that nice facade, everything is crumbling. I'll see what I can do, but it's not maintenance we need, it's a freaking miracle. Eugene. Eugene works hard so that everybody can have an easier time. Appreciate him.
Ooh, is this a movie script?
Change title, not catchy enough. In northwesterly directions. Screenplay by E.L. Needs more murders. Add killer tornado? Question mark. Why cut the scene inside the nose? Best part of the script. February 1958. Let's see if James Stewart is available. 2-16. This must be somebody's safe combo. I'm gonna write that down and see if I can force open a safe later. Paper note with funny drawing. Red lipstick. $2.50 in loose change. Business card X3. Peppermint X9, scratched out to 5. Cigarette pack, Old Port. Silver ring, $1 bill X4. Green pen, a movie script. 20 cents in loose change. Cigarette pack, Red Lion. Paper note with numbers. Black pen X2, $1.35 in loose change. I wonder what the numbers on the left mean. Characters. Susan. Susan's another maid who works here. She's a notorious gossip and loves to make fun of others behind their back. She and Yvette share that charming bit. Yvette. Yvette is one of the Clearington's maids. She and Wendy used to be friends, but now she's just awful to her. She and Susan have teamed up to ensure that no one in the hotel goes ungossiped about. 509. Marcella's lipstick. Basement. Candle stash note. Half erase code. Could be useful. Lost items list. Soap. Where are the candles? Sure. It's always the last place you bother to look.
That uncovered. Reb, you won't mind if I just take one, right? Got a candle. Now, what next?
Time to go see my girlfriend. Trust the process. I got the candle. I can only imagine the hell Bernard would give me if he caught me walking around with these items. They're not exactly a maid's typical arsenal. Now to figure out exactly how these are going to help me open a locked chest. It'll all make sense soon, Sophie.
Let's see if Beth is around.
There you are.
Mwah, my
Sure, I
beautiful
understand what the problem is
girlfriend.
here.
Well, when I was little, we had padlocks on many of the farm's sheds. My dad would always lose the keys, so one day he made a mold of them using wax and plaster. I was thinking of doing the same.
Are you sure it's gonna work?
Absolutely not. But hey, I guess we won't know until we try.
Yeah, you're right.
So let's do this. Okay, to start, we need to pour the wax from the pot.
Huh.
Have you done this before? You're a real pro.
I almost spilled it.
Now, let's give it a few seconds, so the mold really takes form. Okay, I think you can remove it.
Where's my cursor?
Well, we're almost there. Just pour the cup of plaster into the mold.
Arts and crafts,
All right.
yippee!
Now we wait for it to dry.
How long do you think it's gonna take?
I don't know. I guess we'll keep poking it every now and then.
I bet you didn't think you'd be making a plaster key today, huh?
Indeed. But I like it. It's rare that this job allows me to use my creative side.
Your creative side.
Well, granted, this key won't end up in any museum, but I enjoy the occasional artistic endeavor.
Like posing with alligators?
How do you know about that?
Oh, I think it must have slipped out of your locker because I saw this picture of you in a long white dress and...
Oh my, you did? What did you think of it?
I loved it, actually.
Mwah.
It was unique, I guess.
He snooped on your
Artistic.
acolyte, and
Yeah. Those pictures were taken by a very close friend of mine a few years back. Ziva Rivers was her name. Earth-shattering talent, but a bit too controversial for most people's sensibilities.
Oh. Are you still friends?
No, we went our separate ways. It's a shame. She really captured me. My essence.
Your essence is to tame alligators?
My essence is to fear nothing.
Yeah, I can tell. I really admire that about you.
I'm sure under that sweet exterior, you're pretty fearless too. Haven't you ever done something really scary? I mean, other than snooping on a potential creep.
Does sailing count?
Excuse me? You sail? On a boat?
I used to, with my grandpa. But when he died, we had to sell the boat to pay off his debts.
Oh, that's too bad. I would have loved to go with you.
well, I'm sure that we can find a
Maybe
way to
it'd be
make it
possible
work.
to borrow a boat for a day. I think one of Grandpa's friends still has his.
Really? That would be great. I just love trying new things.
I'll see what I can do.
Hey, look! I think it's dry.
I can't believe it worked. I could not have done this without you.
Yeah, probably not. Well, I should get back upstairs before Bernard notices my absence. If he hasn't already.
Can we kiss before you
You know
go?
how it goes with the key. Oh, and be careful while turning it, okay? You wouldn't want it to break inside the lock.
Yeah, I'll be careful. Thank you for everything.
No problem.
Gotta get rid of the evidence, you know. Double keys, double the fun. After I got a candle, I met with Beth in the break room, and the plan was finally unveiled. To mix plaster and wax and use the key I found in 507 to create a double. I never would have thought of this on my own, that's for sure. That's for sure. While waiting for the double to solidify, I got a chance to talk to Beth some more. The downtime even gave us a chance to talk about something other than the day's weirdness. Of course, now I've got to test our handiwork. Back soon. Did that? Oh my gosh, there's like a novel for her. I'm gonna have to read through everybody's profiles at the end of the game. Because these just keep getting oh my gosh! Okay.
I've got 2 keys. Now, let's test them out.
I heard a mouse. Or a rat. Is that Tez? You hiding in the crevices, Tez?
The way they look at each other. You can tell it's the real deal.
Yeah, real deal until he dumped her. Bubba.
No candles, but this looks like the laundry room.
Ah, I could have gotten a hint here. Eugene. Half the washing machines are out of order. Because of this, I wasn't able to finish our current loan in time, and Beth will be forced to offer guests an apology discount. Please fix the machines before Bernard kills me, Rebecca.
People don't usually leave these open. Off limits.
Any more? I guess they're done smooching. Oh god, Bobby's is long. Bobby is the head chef in the Clarington kitchen. He takes care of all the restaurant orders and meals ordered through room service. I love walking by the kitchen doors any chance I get. just to enjoy the smells of whatever Bobby's cooking up, but lingering too long and you'll get an earful or worse. I do not want to spend another afternoon cleaning macaroni out of my hair. What an asshole. Of the things Bobby absolutely hates, picky guests must be near the top of the list. The VIP guest sounds like he appeared straight out of Bobby's nightmare. I am not unsympathetic. Some of the clients we deal with at the Clarington can be particularly difficult, but they're not always great at understanding there are real people under these uniforms. Still, it's probably for the best for everyone that Bobby doesn't deal with clients face to face. The Clarington doesn't need to become a crime scene. It would seem that Bobby moonlights as the Clarington's resident Tupperware thief. Susan has been complaining about the Tupperware she brings her lunches and going missing, and Bobby just so happens to have a large stash of them in his locker. What on earth do you need all that Tupperware for, Bobby? Are Rebecca's hoarding tendencies rubbing off on him? Maybe the rest of the staff needs to pitch in and buy him a set for his next birthday. Basement clues. Candle stash plan. I already found the candles, though. Stuff still doesn't move. I already know the safe combination. Wait, maybe the guy that's in debt, it's his combination. Okay, that's unselectable. How about the bachelorette room? Nope.
Another day? I'm sure I'll find more laundry to add to the pile.
Maybe the secret fuck room? Nope.
I'll hold off on throwing this out just yet. One of our more expensive bottles. Was there a special occasion? Looks like someone had quite the shopping spree. Be careful, Sophie. You don't want this key to break. Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Her alliterative name will surely take you back. These two sure love their riddles.
In Atlanta, I noticed yours was pretty worn down, so I decided to buy you a new one. I hope you like it, and since you enjoy them so much, there's a little puzzle to figure out the combination. 2 5 little words are the key, both related to our history. Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Her alliterative name will surely take you back. From the first one, take the first two. From the last one, take the last two. I hope you get better. Try to rest today. I will bring you some hot soup after class.
Huh. Marcella invited you to the movies. Let me guess. You said yes.
The postman always rings twice. Is playing at the Lowe's Theater tonight. It's based on a novel I read a while back. I'm sure you'll love it, seeing as you love crime stories and murders so much. Nothing creepy about that. Will you come with me? Wait, Lowe's Theater.
There's a lot of stuff in here. I don't think I've looked at everything yet.
I can barely listen to Sister Miller's lecture today. I can't wait for tonight. And I wrote down this code yesterday. It says, all I do is look at your lips and imagine kissing you. Dear Anne, I have just heard Doris Day on the radio, and it made me think of you. I know how much you love Sentimental Journey. Counting every mile of road track, it takes me back. Last time I was in Texas, it felt like coming home. Now, strangely, I feel away from home. I wish you were here with me. I always feel at home in your arms. I can hardly believe it's been 5 weeks since we last saw each other. Sometimes I wonder if I might be going crazy. You are always in my head. Everything reminds me of you. Not only songs on the radio, but silly things like flowers in our garden that smell like your shampoo. Or when people say the word darling, I can hear you say it with your lovely French accent. Darling. My family seems to have noticed my odd behavior, but of course I cannot tell them about you, even though I wish I could. I feel like climbing on the roof of the tallest building in Austin and shouting my feelings for you at the top of my lungs. God, I sound like a giddy teenager in love for the very first time. Maybe I am. Sometimes I'm scared that all this time with you was nothing but a bad dream. Nothing but a dream. I'm gonna do another take of that. Sometimes I am scared that all this time with you was for nothing. Was nothing but a dream too good to be true. I am afraid that when I return to Montreal, I will realize you never existed. Or if you do exist, you don't remember me. I wish I had a picture of the two of us so I would know for sure it was real. I long for your embrace and the taste of your sweet lips. I love you, M.
Doris Day. That's an alliteration, isn't it? Doris. I-S.
Dear Anne, I'm sorry it took me so long to answer your last letter. Has it been 6 months already since I left Montreal? As you always say, le temps passe vite? I will translate that later, hopefully. My parents are glad I am done with my studies. They always thought it was a strange idea for me to go to university. Now they want me to find a husband and have children like any other woman. I think I will. These past few months, I had a lot of time to reflect on our relationship. You know my feelings for you, and I hope you never forget how much I love you. But we cannot hide our heads in the sand any longer. We were lucky our story lasted as long as it did, and foolish to think it would last forever. Our love is forbidden, and hiding it from my family is proving more and more difficult every day. You will always have a special place in my heart, but I believe it's time for us to go our separate ways. You make me feel like a teenager. You made everything but the present disappear. Now I need to be an adult and think about the future. Sincerely, M. Oh, that's so sad. Anne's correspondence, a collection of letters. I already read. Anne's riddle. According to one of the letters on the chest, Anne brought Maricela something that needs a 4-letter key to open, which is probably that blue chest on the bed. Could it be that case I found on Maricela's bed in 509? I need to figure out 2 5-letter words, both related to Anne and Marcella's past. Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Her letter of name will surely take you back. Well, this is the White Cat, which is a bar. And there's a letter in the other room that said that the cat was black. And if they're in love with each other, surely it has to be Greta.
A cat named Greta. G-R.
I am not putting in the footage of how I connected these dots later because it took me dead ass like 45 minutes to figure that shit out.
So G-R from Greta and I-S from Doris. Gree? Could that be the code for the case on the bed in 509? It's worth a try. That novelist, Bridget Boswell, is actually you, Marcella?
Dear Marcella, or should I say Bridget, you know I prefer a good old crime story, but last week I came upon a romance novel with an intriguing title, and they were roommates. I bought it on an impulse at a train station and read it from cover to cover during the journey. Can you imagine, to my surprise, that I recognize our story? You may have changed the names and locations, but all of our moments are there. Our endless discussions in the dorm room, our first date at the theater, our trip to Quebec City. You often said writers were thieves, but I never fully understood until now. It has been almost 10 years since I received your last letter. The letter that painted our relationship as nothing more than a summer fling. At first I could not believe you had written those words, and then I waited in vain for your answer, and had to accept our love, for that your love for me had never been real. For many years I was broken-hearted, angry, and confused. I questioned the nature of our feelings, of our attraction, and made many wrong decisions. But this book, your book, am I foolish to think it's proof you really loved me? In any case, I hope you are well, and I am happy to see that you accomplished your dream of becoming a writer. A.
Oh, Anne. Murder might be a bit much, but you deserve some kind of justice.
Dear Marcella, I didn't expect you to reply to my letter, but I'm happy to see I was wrong. Your words have comforted me in a time of great distress. If only Lewis was half the man you say Hector is. He has quite a temper and hits me frequently. I am willing to put up with it as long as he doesn't hurt Michael, but there are days when it becomes almost unbearable. The other day, I dreamt of our first date. We were watching The Postman Only Rings Twice again, but suddenly, we were in the movie. You were Lana Taylor and I was John Garfield, and we were both plotting to kill my husband. I hate to admit it, but I hope it was premonitory. To answer your question, I do still have our box. My brother is currently in Atlanta for work, and I was thinking of going to see him with Michael next month. If you're able to meet me there, we could open the box. together and laugh at the silly things we thought important all those years ago. I hope to hear from you soon. A. P.S. Do you remember that secret language we invented so Sister Miller couldn't understand the notes we passed during class? In secret language, I still do.
I do like a happy ending. I just hope that's where your story is headed.
Dear Marcella, thank you for sending me a signed version of your latest novel. I think it's your greatest work yet, but I do have a few comments to help make the next one even better. First, I believe Rose should be more concerned with what she deserves than what her husband deserves. He may not deserve the pain she will cause by leaving him, but they both deserve to be happy, and they wouldn't be as long as they remain together, as long as she doesn't listen to her own needs. Also, I think it would be great if your next novel ended on a more positive note. Imagine if Rose left her husband and rode into the sunset with Eve. Imagine that they went to New York or Los Angeles, someplace where people like us are tolerated. Imagine if they got to have their happy ending. It would be the best story ever. I hope you will consider it. Hey. P.S. I know you say invisibility protects us, but don't you just wish to be seen sometimes? Wouldn't you like people to know you are Bridget Boswell? To recognize you on the street? To recognize you for your work? Why not publish your next novel under your own name?
Oh, so you came to Montreal under the pretense of celebrating your wedding anniversary, but all along, you meant to reunite with Anne.
Dear Marcella, I left the house. I left Lewis. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't lie anymore. How do you do it? How do you manage to live a double life? To hide your work and your novels from your husband? I had so much less to hide, and yet Michael and I are staying at the Clarington Hotel until we find a place to stay and the divorce is done. I don't know how long it will take. Could you come and see me in Montreal? I really need you by my side right now. P.S. I wouldn't put it past Lewis to scour every hotel book in the region looking for me under his surname, so I registered it under the name Beaumont.
After all this, turns out you're a fan of Bridget? Of Marcella? That's a lot sweeter than I expected.
Dear Marcella, you don't know me. I think I can safely say I'm your biggest fan. Your novels have literally changed my life. After the war, I spent almost 10 years in a psychiatric hospital because of panic attacks. None of the treatments were working, and I wasn't getting any better. I became friends with one of the nurses who started lending me books so I could pass the time. I don't really like the first ones, but then I picked up Bridget Boswell's first novel, your novel. I had never read such a beautiful love story and almost brought tears to my eyes. I immediately urged the nurse to get me more of your books. Believe it or not, the more I read them, the less panic attacks I had. The doctors thought it was their medication finally working, but I knew the truth. Your novels gave me courage to get in contact with Lindsay, a friend from the war. I had always felt for him the same way your characters feel for each other, but I had never dared telling him. Now I have, thanks to you. The thought of seeing him again is what motivated me to get better and leave the hospital. I hope to hear back from him soon. After my discharge, I wanted to thank you for everything you've done for me. I discovered Bridget was a pseudonym, so tracking you down took longer than I thought. Fortunately, I am very patient. I am a very patient and resourceful man, and I never give up. Do you think we could meet? I have so much more to tell you, Paul.
I'm glad you were able to open up to Marcella like this. Everyone needs someone to talk to.
Dear Marcella, thank you for answering my letter. I realize now how unsettling it must have been for you. Please forgive me for tricking your editor into giving me your address. I know I shouldn't have done that. I wanted to thank you as well for your encouraging words concerning Lindsay. I still haven't heard from him, and I'm starting to fear I might have the wrong address. I wish I could take a train to Virginia, but that's not an option right now, as I can barely pay rent. I guess I will have to find a job. As a kid, I dreamt of being an actor, a Hollywood star. I know it's a foolish dream, but what else can I do? What am I good at? I've tried getting some odd jobs already, but employers turn me down as soon as they learn where I'd spent the last 10 years of my life. If it continues like this, I'll probably end up on the street like so many of my army buddies. Why am I even telling you all this? After reading your books and getting to know you through them, I tend to forget. I'm only a stranger to you. I hope you don't mind. You seem to be a good listener, and I have been feeling rather lonely since I left the hospital. Anyway, please tell me more about your life, and do not hesitate to write long letters. I must have read your previous one 1,000 times already. Paul.
An advance on my salary. So Marcella hired you. But what for?
Dear Marcella, I've just received a letter from Lindsay's mother. She tells me he's dead. Words cannot begin to describe how empty I feel. He died 2 years ago, before I even sent my first letter. He will never know never know my feelings for him, and I will never know if he could have loved me back. I guess I should have known this would end in pain, just like your novels. I wish I had Lindsay's ability to find beauty everywhere. Even during the war, amidst the death and chaos, he would marvel at the forests of Germany, at the sun, the birds. He loved birds so much. He could identify them just by listening to their song. I have to admit, your proposition took me by surprise. I was hesitant to leave home at first. I was afraid to miss Lindsay's answer. But now there's nothing keeping me here. I'm desperate for anything that will help me forget the pain. But I don't have enough money to make it to Texas. Do you think you could give me an advance on my salary? In spite of everything, I am really excited to know and finally meet you, Paul.
Oh, Lindsay's a man. Yeah, I guess it was presumptuous of me to think otherwise.
Any other selections?
So, let me get this straight. Mrs. Beaumont and Mrs. Cruz are some kind of star-crossed lovers?
Seems like it, yeah. But I'm not sure whether they chose to meet here just to reconnect for a few days, or if there's something more to it.
Well, I may be able to help with that.
Really? How?
Oh, some mail arrived earlier for Mrs. Beaumont.
I wonder what's in it.
We could open it.
I mean, that's kinda illegal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, too late. I've always known I would end up in prison one day.
That's my girl.
So?
It's 3 train tickets. And, there's a tourism pamphlet for California.
California.
Well, it makes sense. It's much more progressive there than it is here.
So, Anna and Marcella want to go there to live their love freely.
Anne and Marcella, huh? You 3 are best pals now?
Well, after reading so much of their correspondence, I kind of feel like I know them, you know?
Yeah. But what about Mr. Morgan, though? I mean, Paul. How does he fit into all of this?
Turns out he's a big fan of Marcella.
Is she a celebrity or something?
More or less. She writes pulp fiction under a pseudonym. I think her books gave Paul a chance to get out of his own head while he was staying in a psychiatric hospital.
Huh, I see. He's still kind of a creep, though. Couldn't he have stuck to fan mail? Stalking her like that. That's going too far. And why did he have those pictures of you, anyway?
I guess we'll never know for sure, but I don't think it was ever about me.
It's always been about Anne and Marcella.
Exactly.
Well, it feels a tad anticlimactic, but who needs drama, right?
At least it made our day pretty interesting.
It sure did. You know, after today, I think I get why you're so interested in the lives our guests lead. I try to forget they exist as soon as I'm done interacting with them. But once in a while, it's nice to remember that, well, even the most put-together person could be an absolute mess on the other side of the door.
What about you? Who is Beth
I
Lambert
have to pick
when
the
no
flirting.
one's looking?
I like to think that with me, what you see is what you get. But maybe an extra snoopy super sleuth could uncover a few more layers. Maybe ones I didn't even know I had.
Challenge accepted.
Come see me when your shift ends, alright? We could
Oh,
wait
whoa?
together if you want.
Sure. If we're able to. With all that snow, I'm thinking maybe we'll have no choice but to spend the night here.
Ooh.
A sleepover. We could set up a pillow fort on the mezzanine.
A pillow fort? We do work in a hotel, you know. There are actual beds here.
I know, but isn't my way so much more fun?
Well, we could take a page out of Michael's book and decorate it, and then spend the night throwing stuff at Bernard whenever he comes through the lobby.
Oh, now you're talking.
I just have to finish my tasks for the day, and then I can leave.
All's well that ends well. After looking inside of Marcella's typewriter case, I think everything has fallen into place. There are a few lingering questions, but I think that this is as far as the story goes for now. Anna and Marcella arranged to be here at the same time so that they could rekindle the relationship they started when they were in college. I really feel for them after spending the day learning their story. I hope it has a happy ending. Okay, these are all the letters I read. Anything more? Nope. Ooh. Yikes. Well, Mr. Cruz, sucks to suck.
Mr. Cruz? Mr. Cruz. Oh God. Oh God. What happened? Mr. Cruz's life insurance policy. Why did he have this on him?
All American Fire and Life Insurance Company. Life insurance policy. Policy number whatever. Insured. Hector R. Cruz. Beneficiary. Marcella Cruz. Date of commencement. February 6, 1958. Date of expiry. On the 6th of 78. Coverage amount is $10K. Monthly premium is $11.53. Please renew policy at least 1 month before expiry. Oh.
Marcella? Okay, let's not jump to conclusions.
Dear Mr. Cruz, thank you for reporting that that's unacceptable behavior. We will look into it as soon as possible. However, I regret to inform you that we cannot divulge a guest's personal information regardless of that guest's behavior. As I am sure you will understand, we are very concerned with our guest privacy, and our staff prides itself on its discretion. Please contact us should that guest bother you again. Yours sincerely, Bernard.
Please let there be someone around who can help.
That scared me again. Lights out. Gotta go and turn it back on. Hector, what on earth happened? I was on the 5th floor and heard the elevator door ringing repeatedly, so I went to check it out. I found Hector's body between 2 elevator doors, lying in a pool of blood. I checked his pulse and couldn't feel anything. On his person were 2 pieces of paper, a letter from Bernard, and a copy of Hector's life insurance policy. My head is swirling with questions. What does it mean? How this happened? What could have... who could have done this to Hector? If this is, in fact, someone else's doing.
I have to get the power back on. It's too big. I guess I'll need something pointier.
Yeah, because that's a Phillips head, not a flathead.
Might need this to restore power. I don't think there's anything here that would help me.
Can I take a nail? I never checked that. This, maybe? No? Not the trowel. Anything pointy? I already checked these stores, actually. This room is like the cleanest one because it was just the boss and what's-her-face fucking. Anything in the bathroom useful? Trash can? No? Anything sharp? Nail clippers? No, I can't use the file off of a nail clipper.
No combination, no entry.
I have a partial. Not the pen. No. Would the rosary work? Nope, not sharp enough. Anything in the vent? I don't know what that is, but it looks pointy. Oh, they're the curler clips. Why can't I use the curler clips? I could actually use those as a lockpick in real life. Anything in the bachelorette room that would be useful? There's suddenly trash in here again. I know I cleaned this room. Calling Eugene for help now. Why can I use pry it open? There must be something on the 5th floor. I've got so much clutter around. I'm sure I'll find just what I'm looking for. Deciphered vent note. It's a bibble. It's a muddy shoe. Sorry for the messing his back. Anything in the safe? No. Anything sharp? Anything inside the cigarettes? No. I can't throw away the kids' crayons. Sharpen that. Yeah.
Those few coins in my tip jar were getting pretty lonely. They'll appreciate the company. Think, Sophie, think. What can you use to open the fuse box?
If I'm gonna die with the tip in my pocket. Anything in here? Can I take this with me? No. Wait, why is the gun still in the safe? Can I use this? I know that razor could be used as a shim. Come on. Not the comb work, not the pen. Can they dispense with the racket at the church, please? That shit's spooking me. Anything in here? This must be Lindsay with him. Would this work? No? Come on. It's gotta be on the scary side of the hallway. Come on, con man. Have something, please. That's bull shark. Huh. Nothing sharp. Anything in the bathroom I can use? Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Anything in the luggage?
Hello? Is anyone in? Hello? I need help.
I don't want to be on this end of the hallway. There's a camera. Oh god.
These look like Marcella's pearls. What happened here?
AB. Are they being framed? Please tell me that they're just being framed. It has to be Paul, right? Fuck. That's the murder weapon.
Poor Paul. Lindsay's death really hit him hard. He hasn't been in the best headspace.
Montreal is much bigger than I expected. Big cities always make me feel lonely, and that feeling was only exacerbated this morning by the fact that everyone around me is speaking a language I cannot understand. I bought a English-French dictionary at the train station, but I don't think I'll need it after all. English speakers seem to be more common in the downtown area, thank God. The hotel is nice. When I arrived, the whole staff was busy getting ready for some big event. It wasn't until I saw Marcella enter the lobby with a flower bouquet that I realized today's Valentine's Day. Hector and her were gone in a flash, and I was left feeling more alone than ever. Wishing Lindsay was here with me, helping Marcella out these past weeks has been a great distraction, but it still hurts so much more every time I think about him. I had hoped the pain would have gone away by now. I'll probably need a double dose of Miltone to help me sleep at night. Oh, it's melatonin. Shit. My time is running short.
So Paul just needed to pass the time while Marcella was away. That's why he was observing us.
Today I wanted to follow Marcella and Hector out of the hotel, but the sidewalks were so packed with people that I started having a panic attack. I tried taking a cab, and that's when I realized I was all out of money. It's been a while since Marcella's last payment, and the hotel room was more expensive than I had anticipated. I couldn't resort to selling the camera, so I decided to pawn my victory medal instead. It was hard letting it go after so many years, and yet it also felt strangely liberating. Maybe it's a sign that I shouldn't be holding on to the past so much. To fight boredom until Marcella and Hector's return, I started looking at the hotel staff. I heard Andrew and Beth at the reception desk discussing books and movies. They both seemed like nice people. I wish I had found the courage to join their conversation. When you look at people all day and they never look back, you start feeling invisible. I noticed that Sophie, the maid in charge of cleaning the 5th floor, seems to share my interests in other people's lives. Maybe I should start talking to her.
Paul was hiding out right here. Did he ever find the person who was sneaking out at night?
Who's sneaking out of their room every night? The question has been driving me crazy since my first night at the hotel, so tonight I decided to investigate. I found a hiding spot near the ice machine, with a nice view of the whole corridor. My camera's at the ready, but there's been no movement for at least 3 hours, and I'm fighting not to fall asleep. No need for Miltone tonight. I thought being a detective would be more exciting. Maybe Marcella's right. Maybe it's time I let go of Mr. Spade.
9:45? So Anne and Marcella met here this morning while I was busy cleaning room 504.
I woke around 9:30 a.m. and realized I'd fallen asleep sometime in the early morning. I was about to go back to my room when the guest in room 507 came to sit on one of the chairs close by. She's been there ever since, and I don't dare leave my hiding spot in front of her. Marcella joined the guest from 507 around 9:45. Apparently, she told Hector she didn't love him anymore, and he's now convinced she's been cheating on him. This explains why he assaulted me out of the blue yesterday evening and accused me of having an affair with his wife. The guest from 507, I've learned her name is Anne, has just said she might have an idea on how to solve their problem. I'm thinking of revealing myself, but I don't want to anger Marcella. The longer I wait, the more awkward it'll be when I do come out. Maybe I should.
Oh, so Paul's work with Marcella was to follow her around like a private investigator, to help her with research for her novel.
Dear Paul, I'm sorry to hear you are in such a dire situation. You seem to possess a lot of useful skills, and it's a shame employers cannot see past your medical history, but don't despair. I have been writing novels for almost 8 years now. My publisher takes most of the sales revenue, but I was still able to collect a substantial sum of money over the years now. I would like to use that money to hire you. I am getting tired of romance novels and am thinking of branching into crime fiction. As a sort of research, I would like you to follow me around town, take notes of my comings and goings. I am aware this is a very unusual job, but considering you were able to track me down, I believe you'd be a great private detective. In addition to your salary, I would cover all your work-related expenses, and you would, of course, be the first to read the manuscript once it's finished. Sincerely, M.
Paul really got into his role.
Dear Paul, I hope spying on me isn't proving too exhausting. You really inspired me so far. I already have tons of ideas. The trench coats you bought were a nice touch. You look straight out of a film noir. I also noticed you started smoking. It's probably another way for you to get into character, but maybe that's pushing it a little too far. You know best, of course, but don't pick up drinking next. At this rate, I should be able to start writing in 2 or 3 weeks. Thanks again for your help, M.
He followed Marcella to Montreal even though she was done with her research.
Paul, why did you follow me to Montreal? As I already told you, I do not require your services anymore. I am starting to worry you are taking your role a bit too seriously. You are not a real detective. You have to let it go. This is the only thing.
Okay. This looks like something I can use to open the fuse box.
This is very clearly the murder weapon. I'm gonna get framed for all this shit because I have to pick that up. There's nothing else on this floor sharp enough. I'm allowed to pick up. Oh, shit.
It's too big. That worked, thank God. Now, to get the power back. How did this end up here?
Safe combination list. So, for that partial I have, could be 34 or it must be the 34 one or like a 6 something.
Eugene,
If
what
there
would
is a
keep Jackie
power
with me right
outage.
Your note will have to make do.
If there's a power outage and I'm busy preventing another part of the hotel from collapsing, here's what to do. Check the fuse box plan for required amperage of each socket. Remove all blown fuses from the sockets. Tip brown fuses are normally blackened. Screw in fuses and sockets. Make sure the amperage is correct. Flick the big lever to restore power. So... Well, it would help if I knew what the numbers were. Okay, P is 25. S is 20. G is 30. I guess. Because this. I think that the gray... Yep, gray is A. Which is 15. And the yellow was 30. So I need fuse A. Okay, it's that way. And 30 is... Whoops. 30 is G. Oh wait, full lever.
No power.
Oh
I
wait,
think I need to change all of the blown fuses.
S is
How
20.
does Eugene do this again? Fuses. I
Right.
probably need new fuses.
I only found 2 around the room. That's... Oh wait, there's one here that I can pick up.
Is there anything I've forgotten? Once I leave this floor, I probably won't be able to come back.
Broken pearl necklace, looks like Marcella's. Cigarette case with the initials AB. Camera. Marcella's letters to Paul. Paul's notebook. Save codes list. Okay, so this is all written down. Hang on. So, one with 30. I open up the safes before I go?
Hello? Is anyone in? Hello? I need help.
I think maybe that was supposed to be something that gets discovered earlier.
Damn it.
Okay, what was the first number? Actually, what room is this? 509. 23. 4216, maybe? There's a gun in here. You ruined my life, you freaking moron. You fucking moron. I lost my house, my family, everything, and you refused to pay the money you owe me. For years, I gave you my hard-earned money, and it was all for nothing. I hope you and the All-American burn in hell. SW. Woman and 3 children killed in house fire. The Williams house, located on 32nd Street, is a total loss. 4 members of a family died in a residential fire last night. According to police and firefighters, flames were seen coming from the 2-story house by a neighbor around 3 a.m. It took firefighters around 1 hour to extinguish the blaze. The bodies of a woman and 3 children were found in the house. Police identified the victims as Meredith Williams, 32, and her children Thomas, 12, David, 9, and Sarah, 6. Samuel Williams, the husband, managed to escape the house unharmed. Samuel Williams. Maybe I shouldn't be touching the gun, but... I feel like that's the final piece of evidence I can write down. Threat message. Hector's gun. A revolver, I think. That is technically a revolver. Samuel Williams. Samuel Williams is a client of Hector Cruz. He lost his wife and 3 children in a residential fire, but Cruz's company refused to pay his insurance claim. Holding Hector responsible for his current situations, Williams has been sending him death threats, and it wouldn't seem Hector took the threats seriously enough, considering he bought a gun on his wedding anniversary trip. Brought a gun. I've never been more grateful for electricity. The light from the window in the janitor's closet was enough for me to see what I was doing to fix the fuse box, and it occurred to me that had it been any later in the day, I would have been up the creek without a paddle. I'll head down to the lobby, go straight to reception, and get the police on the phone. This nightmare is almost over, or I hope so. And that was about the
Power's
pieces.
back. Now I should go down to the lobby. Call the police.
Sorry, Mr. Cruz.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
By the way, my notes for this game look like the ramblings of a crazy person. Worst phone call to make. I restored the power to the 5th floor, but the rest of the hotel is still in the dark. At least I was able to make it to the lobby. I had to move Hector to get inside the elevator. I just want to forget that part, but it happened. It made me think of Mom. How many times did she move someone after they succumbed to a fatal wound? Did she ever get used to it? Oh, Mom, I wish you were here right now. I have a call to the police, and I have to call the police and let them know about Hector. The phone by the reception should work.
Phone. I need a phone.
God, that scared me.
Beth? Where is everyone?
Montreal Police Service, Station 22.
There's a man dead. He's been murdered. I need the police.
Please stay calm, ma'am. Where are you right now?
The lobby. But the body, it's upstairs.
Can you give me the address, please?
Um, 1178 Drummond Street.
All right, ma'am.
She doesn't know the address of her own job?
Thank you.
Well, I guess I don't either, now that I think of it. But this was back whenever you had to memorize that shit.
So Anne and Marcella really are planning to run off together. Was what happened to Hector part of their plan? Is this the brochure Beth was talking about? The one that came in the mail for Anne? Why does the VIP want to meet with Paul? Maybe he fell for his role-playing and wants to hire him as a private investigator.
To all reception staff, discard previous instructions. Our prestigious guest has expressed the desire to meet the guest in room 505. I cannot fathom what such an illustrious man wants from such a freak, but if you see him, please direct him towards my office.
Bernard really wants Paul out of the hotel.
To all reception staff, I have heard more reports on the guest from room 505 and his strange behavior, following people around, spying on guests, etc. As you are all aware, we have a very prestigious guest in room 602, and I would hate for his stay at our distinguished hotel establishment to be tarnished because of some other undesirable guest. Inform the guest in 505 that he must vacate his room as soon as possible, and then an excuse if you have to. Also note that from now on, our if you can pay, you can stay policy no longer applies. Guests who don't fit the hotel's new elevated standards should be denied a room. Thank you, Bernard. I get to go outside? I wanted to go in, like the hallway to the boss's office to see if people were there.
Oh, hey you. Great timing, right? I'm thinking if we're lucky, Bernard will let us go home. No point in working in the dark. Sophie? Bean, you're not scared of the dark, are you? Hey, is everything okay?
I found Mr. Cruz. Hector.
Oh, you did? What was the bloke up to?
You don't understand. I found his body. He's dead, Beth.
Merde. Merde. Sit down, okay? You look like you're about to faint.
Wait, maybe the murderer is the guy that was in debt because of the house fire. Maybe that person is also running under a pseudonym.
Have you called the police?
Yeah, they're on their way.
What happened? Was there an accident?
No, I don't think so. Someone
Because I think their name was
did
different.
this to him.
You mean... Merde. Do you think it could have been Anne and Marcella?
I think the ladies are being framed. I do. But there's so much evidence against them. Mm.
I found something on Hector that would point to that. Yes.
Wait, so you touched the body? The dead body?
I mean, yes. Kind of.
Sophie? Rule number 1 when stumbling upon a dead body. Do not touch. It could really get you in trouble. So,
I have a billion notes in my
what
journal.
did you
It's
find?
fine.
There was this letter that made it sound like Marcella would get a lot of money from her husband's death.
Ugh. Throw the affair into the mix and you get a pretty good motive.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm probably going to hell for saying this. Who am I kidding? I'm going to hell anyway. But I can't really blame her if she did it.
Yeah, not being able to be with the person you love must be so
Mwah.
heartbreaking. I can understand wanting to find a way to escape.
You can?
I mean, I can't excuse murder, but I understand.
I'm glad you do. You know, that photographer I've told you about, Ziva Rivers? She was more than a gal pal. We were together for a while, and I was so in love. It was like a fire rain couldn't put out. I guess like anything that intense, it wasn't meant to last, but while it lasted, I was the happiest I've ever been. And if something had come between us, kept us apart, I would have done just about anything to be with her. Maybe that's what happened here with Anne and Marcella.
Thank you. Thank you for trusting me with this.
Maybe now you can understand why I care so much about you.
Kiss,
I don't
kiss,
know
kiss.
if I'm feeling inspired by Anne and Marcella, or if it's the shock of being so close to an actual murder, but, I'd really like for us to be more than just friends, Sophie.
The timing on this is so terrible. I feel like she's in on it too.
Yeah. I'd like that too.
That's... that's great. The police is here. Just be mindful of what you tell them, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Miss Roy? Miss Roy? Miss Roy!
Oh, sorry. I was distracted.
I really need you to focus right now. I don't want to be here all night, and I'm sure
She's
you don't either.
traumatized. Give her a fucking break.
No, I don't.
So, as I was saying, we're trying to ascertain the circumstances of Mr. Cruz's death. Can you tell me how you came to find the body?
I was cleaning room 509 when I heard the elevator bell ring. Again and again and again. I thought maybe a child was playing with the doors, so I went out in the corridor, and that's when I saw him. All the blood and...
Why was the elevator bell ringing?
I'm sorry?
You said you heard the elevator bell ring. Why was it ringing? I assume it wasn't a child after all.
Well, Mr. Cruz's body was preventing the doors from closing.
Really? When we found the body, it wasn't that close to the doors.
Oh, the stairs are blocked because of the renovations, so the elevator's the only way out of the 5th floor. I had no choice but to move the body. Just a little.
Ah, so that explains the traces we found. Thank you for clearing that up. So, what did you do after that?
Well, that's when the power cut. So I had to go to the janitor's closet.
To access the fuse box.
Exactly. I changed a few fuses and turned the power back on.
But there's a lock on that box, isn't there? Did you have the key?
The problem is I'm the one holding all this shit. I hate this. I'm gonna tell the truth for just about everything.
No, I didn't. Only Eugene does. But I thought an ice pick might do the trick, so I went to the ice machine to get one.
You're a size 7, I suppose.
Yes, I am. Why?
What did you see when you went to the ice machine?
There was blood. A lot of it.
Did you touch anything?
I might have touched a few things. Just to figure out what had happened to Mr. Cruz.
Everything I
Of course you
touch.
Why so many witnesses can't help but compromise the evidence is just beyond me.
I touched everything. Absolutely
Anyway,
everything. Just read my
what
journal.
did you do
Read my
after
journal at this
restoring
point.
the power?
I took the elevator down to the lobby. That's where I called the police.
Do you remember what you said to the operator? The exact words.
What does it matter? There's a recording.
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You said there's a man dead. He's been murdered.
That's possible.
What makes you so sure it was murder?
I've been snooping around the guests' rooms.
Of course you have. Listen, I couldn't care less that you're a nosy Nelly. Most women are. But I need you to tell me what you know.
All right.
Let's start with the victim's wife, Marcella Cruz. Apparently she left in quite a hurry this morning. What can you tell me about her?
She's having an affair, but it's not what you think. She's been in love with another woman since college. They've been apart for more than 10 years, and now they...
Yes, I know all about Mrs. Cruz and Mrs. Beaumont's sexual deviance. Have you ever witnessed them engaging in immoral behavior?
What do you mean?
I'm asking if you've seen them being, intimate.
No, I haven't. No.
And did you hear them discuss their deviant ways in front of Mrs. Beaumont's son, perhaps? Imagine what kind of effect such perversion can have on a young child.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Did you hear them express their hatred of men? Did they ever talk about using violence against men? Did you hear them speak ill of Mr. Cruz?
What are you trying to imply? That Mrs. Cruz killed her husband because she hates men?
I've seen it before from lesbians.
Oh, this has nothing to do with hate. It's about love. Not that you'd understand.
Oh, and you think you do? Then please, enlighten me.
She's brave enough to be with the one she loves. That doesn't make her a criminal. That doesn't mean she killed her husband.
I'm starting to worry you may be one of them, Miss Roy, since you're so eager to defend
And
these
I worry
deviants.
about your ability to do your job, detective, since you seem to be such a...
Enough! One more word, just one more word, and you'll be spending the rest of your night in a cell.
Suck a dick, dumb shit.
Now get the hell out of here. I've had enough of you.
Bernard was strangely chipper on the phone. That can't be a good sign. I guess I'll know soon enough.
It's been tough being alone with my thoughts since the hotel closed 2 days ago. According to the papers, the police are still investigating and haven't made any charges yet. I just hope they take time to get it right. The last thing this whole ordeal needs is an innocent person behind bars. Anyway, this morning, I got a call from Bernard and calling me to the hotel. He sounded surprisingly chipper, cheerful even. I wonder how it'll feel walking into Clarington again after everything that's happened. I never imagined I would be sitting in an interrogation room at the police precinct. It was like something out of a crime film, the kind of scene you watch and wonder what you would do if you were in that character's place. What I would do, turns out, is to stand up to the detective interrogating me. I just couldn't let him speak like that about topics he doesn't understand and about people he doesn't know. I don't exactly regret my actions, but I hope they won't lead to any unwanted repercussions. Laying it out. The police are on their way. I think that's the most I can do right now. It hasn't completely undone the knots in my stomach, and the tension in my shoulders, but it's a start. I might as well write a bit to pass time until they arrive. I don't know what'll happen next. If my hunch is correct, and Hector was indeed murdered, I suppose the police's main priority will be to determine who did it. I'm probably going to have to answer some questions, aren't I? Maurice Tremblay is a detective lieutenant with the Montreal Police. He's about what one would expect from a detective: stern, straight-laced, tired, and always carrying either a mug of coffee or a notebook. He looked like he hasn't slept in days, which makes sense with how hard police have been working themselves trying to round up every last supposed deviant in the city. Maurice is old-fashioned, like a lot of men his age. His assumptions about women or anyone who isn't like him, for that matter, made that clear. I wish he wasn't the one in charge of the investigation into Hector's murder, but I'm not sure any other detective would make much of a difference. Roger. Roger is the policeman who escorted me through the precinct when I was called to be interrogated. He seems nice enough. I wish I had more time to talk with, had more to work with, but I have to remember that I can't go inside everyone's heads. Stop being nice to cops! Train tickets. Train tickets delivered by mail from Chicago, Illinois to San Francisco, California. Canada Flyer. Letters to reception. Read those.
Let's go see what Bernard wants. The atmosphere is so different in here. It'll probably be a while before the hotel reopens.
Ugh, go to hell.
Beth,
Hey,
are you okay?
I'm out of a job. But other than that, yeah, everything's just peachy.
What?
Why is she out of a job?
No,
I hope you're luckier than I am. Come join me when he's done with you, all right? I'll be questioning my life choices on the mezzanine.
yeah, okay.
Ah, Miss Roy. Come in. I suppose you know why you're here?
Not really.
I'm not sure, actually. Your phone call was a bit vague.
Yes, well, I prefer to have this conversation in person. We've been getting a lot of press lately, and not the good kind. I wouldn't expect you to understand the position I'm in, but I assure you, it's quite uncomfortable. To have one's life's work blown away like that. All thanks to some sexual deviance and a nut job. It's obvious to me now that I haven't been firm enough. For guests of such morals to be comfortable booking a few nights here and committing such a horrid act. Things need to change. This means elevating our standards to the highest possible level, and it starts with the people working here. It starts with you.
With me?
Yes. From what I've heard, you've been quite the exemplary maid lately.
Oh?
Clean rooms, satisfied guests.
I take my job very seriously, sir.
As you should. We'll see for the future, but for now, you'll be allowed to continue working here.
I'm surprised.
Thank you.
I'm not done. The police have finished their investigation and left a mess on the 5th floor. I want you to clean it up.
You want me to go back there?
Yes, why not?
I found a dead body on that floor. I'm not going back.
I'll make this simple for you. If you don't do it, you're fired.
I mean, Beth is already out of a job, and I'm interested in her. I'm sticking with my girl.
You can't fire me. Because I quit.
Sure. I fire you, you quit. It's all the same to me. Just make sure to empty your locker before the end of the month. That'll be all.
Man, I really wish I could have brought up his affair.
Yeah.
This didn't happen over a night?
What did Bernard want with you?
Well, he was being kind of a jerk, so I quit.
You what?
I quit. I figured there was no point in staying if you were leaving.
I
Exactly.
appreciate the solidarity, but you really didn't have to do that.
I think it's for the best.
Mwah.
Say why he was firing you?
Ugh. He was going on and on about keeping deviants out of the hotel, so I may have lost my cool a little.
A little?
I told him I was one of those deviants he was so afraid of. He froze for a moment, then showed me the door.
Well, I'm not one bit worried about you. I know you'll be just fine.
Yeah, I do have a cat-like ability to land on my feet.
And think of all the good times you'll have away from Bernard.
I'll miss annoying him. He turns into a particular shade of red that only I can get out of him. But no, you're right. It's time for new challenges. I could see myself owning my own establishment, one that caters to the right kind of crowd. Believe it or not, I do enjoy the company of people, just not, the stuck-up, entitled clientele of this prestigious hotel. But maybe if I were behind the counter of, say, a bar, instead of a reception desk. I don't know. Is that silly?
When are we gonna
Oh,
kiss?
Smart. In fact, you'd be perfect for it. You're the most charming person I know.
Mwah.
Thank you. I'm really glad you're in my life.
Me too.
Just a couple of unemployed lesbians.
Can I?
Kiss me?
Yes.
I thought you'd never ask.
Lesbians!
That was...
I know.
I've been thinking about Anna and Marcella a lot.
Should I be jealous?
No, not in that way. I've been thinking about what they went through. How they had to lie and pretend. Day after day. How they had to live someone else's life for 10 years before they could finally be with each other. I don't think I could do that.
Well, I have good news for you, Bean. Times are changing. It's already started elsewhere, and it will get here eventually. One day, all the Annes and Marcellas of the world will live happily together, and no one will give a damn.
I really hope that's true.
It will be.
It still hasn't happened. I mean, Canada, pretty fucking lenient, but still, there's a lot of homophobes out there. I feel bad for implicating these women. Perhaps in my girl failure playthrough, they can be together, happy. You know what? I might be broke as shit, but I got a girlfriend. That's all that matters in my heart. Ah, good. I can still show these, but faster. That's good to know. And that was my first playthrough of, Bed We Made. Making the bed. Lesbian girlfriend. Moi moi. I think the next game I'm gonna play is Starfetchers, and then I might return to this game. And until next time, bye-bye.